So, dear audience, my topic is the use of augmented reality in dental implant placement. I am Takács from the Department of Community Dentistry. My mission is to improve patient satisfaction with implants, and my vision is to see augmented reality in the everyday clinical practice. Here you can see an overview of my projects, and I would like to start with the first one, which is investigating the accuracy of different implant placement techniques. The techniques in current clinical use, such as the freehand method, may result prosthetically inadequate implant positions, iatrogenic damage and aesthetic complications. Dynamic navigation forces the surgeon to alternate their attention between the monitor and the surgical area, and the surgical guides of the static navigation need additional space and may endanger the cooling of the drills. Augmented reality is a novel approach. It works by the superimposition of the preoperative plan on the surgical area, and this way the mentioned problems may be eliminated. So our goal is to see if a clinically acceptable accuracy is achievable with this method. Our clinical question is basically the accuracy of all available implant placement techniques, and our hypothesis is that the augmented reality-based one would be superior. Here you can see our systematic search, which was conducted in April, and our flowchart of selection. We ended up with 105 articles in total. Our outcomes are means with confidence intervals. They are all positive values. The smaller, the better. 0 is the ideal position. They are measured between the preoperative plan and the placed implant. The first one is angular deviation, which is the difference between the axes. The clinically acceptable accuracy is maximum 5 degrees, and as you can see, only the freehand method's confidence interval had values which were higher than this. The rest were acceptable, and the robot-assisted implant placement had a tendency to achieve the highest accuracy. Second one is coronal global deviation with a maximum acceptable accuracy of 1.5 millimeters. Again, only freehand had higher values than this, and the static group had the highest accuracy. The third one is apical global deviation between the most apical central points of the planned and placed positions. It's again 1.5 millimeters max, and freehand and augmented reality had higher values than this, and robot-assisted navigation had the lowest accuracy. The highest accuracy, yes. The strength of our study was that we included all possible implant placement techniques. We evaluated the accuracy with all measurement types, and we published the protocol previously. The limitation is that all studies included were in vitro. In some subgroups, we only had a small number of them, and the heterogeneity was high. Our conclusion is that the fully guided static and the robot-assisted navigation provided the greatest accuracy, while the other methods, augmented reality and the robot-assisted, are promising, and freehand had a tendency to achieve the worst results for most outcomes. For practice, wider use of these navigation techniques is advised, and also to be introduced to a broader audience. The implication for research, we need both in vitro and in vivo studies, but with a more consistent and transparent way of publishing. We sent a manuscript to the Journal of Dentistry, which was fortunately accepted in October. My second study is about the learning curve of augmented reality-based navigation. We would like to see the learning curve of this navigation technique, as no study has ever examined this. We only know that the similar dynamic navigation has a steep learning curve. We would like to see the learning curve and the accuracy of these methods, and our hypothesis is that AR would be superior. We would like to offer an easy-to-learn implant placement method, less complications, less iatrogenic damage, and better biomechanical and aesthetic results. We would like to include MSc dental students. We would like to conduct the implant placement on 3D printed resin mandibles and exclude people with experience in implant placement. We would have two groups, an AR-based and a conventional dynamic navigation-based one, though this is still in the protocol drafting phase. And our outcome would be the learning curve formed by the implant placement accuracy. The third project, it's investigating the accuracy of robot-assisted implant placement. After conducting the first meta-analysis, it highlighted that a clinical study about robot-assisted dental implant surgery is needed, and fortunately there were enough for us to conduct a meta-analysis on this topic. There are two kinds of robots. Autonomous robots conduct osteotomies and dental implant placements themselves with human supervision, and there are semi-autonomous or hybrid robots which operate by the surgeons having full control over them. This might lead to errors and be a bit more difficult to handle than the autonomous one. We would like to see the accuracy of these methods, and the hypothesis is that the autonomous solution is more accurate. We conducted a systematic search in January. Here is our search key and our flowchart of selection. After citation chasing, we had 11 articles left. The outcomes are basically the same as in the first topic. You see the angular deviation, which is clinically acceptable if under 5 degrees. For both categories, the confidence intervals were in the clinically acceptable range, and the autonomous robots had a higher accuracy. The second one is the coronal global deviation. Again, all results were in the acceptable range, and the autonomous robot had a higher accuracy again. And the third one is apical global deviation. All confidence intervals were under 1.5 millimeters, and the autonomous robots had a higher accuracy than the other one. The strength is that we evaluated not only the robot-assisted, but also its subtypes. We evaluated it with all possible measurement types, and we had a previously published protocol. However, we could include CAIS reports and CAIS series, and had a smaller amount of studies with a higher heterogeneity. Our conclusion is that the robot-assisted method provides a high clinical acceptability accuracy, and autonomous robots provided lower deviations for all outcomes. However, we couldn't see a tendency for significantly higher accuracy. Implication for practice is that robots should be used in clinical practice, and they should be introduced to more people, and we need more studies, especially RCTs, for more evidence and more consistent and transparent way of publishing. Here is our progress. Right now we are at the ROB assessment, and this is an overview of all my projects. And I would like to thank you for your attention with a quote from Verne: "Science, my boy, is composed of errors, but errors that it is right to make, for they lead step by step to the truth."
Thank you for your presentation. I'm asking that as an absolute outsider, that regarding the autonomous versus the hybrid method, what is the protocol in your department now, and would you like to be changed on that regarding or based on your results?
Thank you for your question. Right now we don't have robots to conduct the surgery with. This way we don't have protocols. For everyday implant placements in our department, freehand method and static guides are used. Static guides provide safer implant placement, so this is more advisable. However, if there is only a single tooth loss, then freehand method may be good as well.
There is no more question. Can I have just a very simple question? You mentioned that what is the differences between augmented reality and the dynamic navigation?
So when you have dynamic navigation, you have a computer screen next to you, and you see the 3D plan there on the monitor. However, with augmented reality, you either have virtual retinal displays, so goggles, or these semi-transparent mirrors. And using these gadgets, you can look at the patient, and you will see the plan appear right on the jaw of the patient.
Okay, but both of them is dynamic, basically.
Yes, AR is considered a subtype.
And the robotic is, what's the difference is comparing the robotic one? It's, you have some additional equipment, or there is an arm which
with the robotic you have a robotic arm, and if it's an autonomous robot, then it will find the patient and the place where you need to implant using anatomical structures or previously registered surfaces or fiducial markers. And then if it's autonomic, then all you have to do is watch it work. And if it's a hybrid robot, then you are the one who has the handpiece in your hand. And then you can bring the handpiece to the right position in one type of robot. In the other type of robot, the robot does it itself. And then you are the one doing the implantation, but the robot is guiding your hand. So basically, if, for example, you are going too deep, then the robot will stop you, so it won't cause any damage.